Hey guys, what's happening? Stephen Howell here with ProductiveWisdom.com. I hope you're doing awesome. And in today's video, we're going to talk about how much money do you need to start a real estate wholesaling business. And we're going to break down all the marketing costs. So if you're ever wondering, if you want to start real estate, if you want to start becoming a real estate investor, and you want to start a real estate wholesaling business, how much money do you need really to start that? And you may have either on social media or podcast or an interview or even here on YouTube, seen all of the different slogans, or maybe in the past you've attended a webinar, a local seminar, or you've gone to a meetup group. And, especially in the world of real estate wholesaling, when you're trying to learn how to wholesale real estate, you'll hear this phrase all the time, get started with no money whatsoever, no cash, no credit, all of these things. And if I'm honest, that kind of makes me cringe a little bit, although there is some truth to that, right? Real estate wholesaling is a huge passion of mine. It is one of my main businesses. It's something that I teach. It's something that I coach and I mentor students all around the country to get their first deals done. It's something I absolutely love. But sometimes when I hear those marketing messages, I can see how it almost sounds too good to be true, right? And people get a little jaded and they're thinking like, really? Like you can get something for nothing? Like how is that possible? So I thought, my friend, for you, I get a lot of questions on this. Like, Stephen, I'm really serious about real estate investing. I'm really serious about, quitting my job soon and becoming a real estate investor. I've been trying to do this thing forever. How much money do I need to really get started, to get some traction? So what I want to do is I want to just, I've opened up an Excel spreadsheet. I want to talk with you, line by line, step by step, and kind of break down all the marketing costs. And the way that I want to do it is I want to talk about some necessities, some things that you will need to get going. And I don't want to sugarcoat it because I want you watching this video to have the real scoop, to be able to make educated decisions in your life and your business that's going to be able to help you, help your family, and get results better and faster. So that's the whole goal here. If you're new to this channel, if you're new to my videos here, welcome. We try to do these videos daily, so you're going to get a lot of great value out of the content that I have produced here. I have a ton of fun shooting these videos, so definitely welcome. If you like this video, if you get a lot out of it, and if you want more videos like this, first off, I'd love to hear from you. I do actually read the comments, so let me hear from you in the comments. Like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that wonderful little notification bell so that way you can get updated when I have new videos and new content out designed to help you, okay? So without further ado, let's get started. And if you don't mind, I'm going to be sipping on my water here. I just got back into working out and CrossFit. I took about a month or two off. My wife and I had our first child. We had a baby girl. And so obviously with the holidays and with things going on, so just got my first CrossFit workout in this afternoon. I'm blessed to have a business where I can, work things in like that. And so definitely going to be sipping on the water here as we go. But anyways, so as far as the necessities, when we get started in real estate, so one of the things that you're going to need is stamps, okay? So the cost of stamps, and this is for sending out mail pieces. Now, as you may have seen in some of my prior videos, one of my best lead sources, and I don't mind sharing with you this golden nugget, one of my favorite lead sources is inherited houses, is probates. And the reason why I love that is because it's one of the best bang for your buck leads, rather than going out there and dropping thousands and thousands of dollars on postcard mailers or yellow letters to these massive lists that have already been mailed a bazillion times, and you're spending thousands of dollars a month to hopefully get some deals coming in. I like doing things a little bit different. I don't want to go on and on about probate or inherited houses in this video, but above the video here, I'll link in one of the cards to one of my other videos where you can, and you can check them out on my channel as well. And over at Productive Wisdom on my blog, I have a free training that I call the Real Truth Training, where I dive into that. It's one of my #1 lead sources, and I think you'll get a lot out of that. So anyways, using that as an example, obviously if we're sending probate letters, if we're sending letters out to estates, we're going to need some stamps. So let's just talk about this, the cost of stamps. The cost of stamps at the time of this recording is 49 cents. We're just into 2018. There is actually a proposal as of yesterday that it's going to go up to 50 cents. So let's just use that. Let's just call it 50 cents for the cost of stamps. And let's say that we're sending out 20 probate letters to executors and 20 letters to the attorneys. So we're sending out 40 letters a week for a cost of roughly 50 cents. So that's $20 per week, which is going to be $80 per month. So let's do a monthly cost here. So basically we have a cost there of $80 a month. Computer paper, we're going to need paper to send out these letters on. So obviously you can go to Office Max, Staples, not Home Depot, Office Depot, and get paper for between $3.99 and $5.99. You might be able to even find it on Amazon cheaper. Let's just say a $5 pack of paper for the month. And I want to keep this very simplistic and very basic. Now, I'm all about building your business lean. Now, why is that? When I got started, I wasted thousands of dollars on these high-priced programs. I wasted thousands of dollars on strategies that I thought were going to be the secret, until I came under the wing of a mentor and I realized that they built their business smart. They built their business by doing things different than what everybody else was doing. And they built their business by being lean. And I just simply modeled what they were doing. And that's what I want to help you to understand watching this video. If you are just a beginner getting into real estate, maybe you've been at it a little while, you have a few deals under your belt, and you're looking to get better traction, I want to help you to build your business lean and give you some good strategies here that you can take with you. So anyways, envelopes you can get very cheap as well. Amazon, not Home Depot. I keep wanting to say Home Depot. Office Depot, Staples, that type of thing. So let's just say $5 there for envelopes as well. Okay, so the next thing, you're obviously going to need ink. So ink, it depends on what type of printer that you get or you have. Let's just say an average of around $40 a month on ink. And that's honestly going to be very high. You're probably going to run out of ink like every other month. So we could even really bump this down. Let's just say $25 a month. I want to be really conservative here. So the next thing that you'll need is signs. Now, this doesn't mean you need to go out and put out signs everywhere, but when we're speaking of wholesaling houses, and there's dozens of ways to sell the contract that you have on the back end, but it's always helpful to put out a few signs. It's not the only way. It's not a one-trick pony, like this is the only thing you do. No, I actually teach 12 different, every time I get a deal under contract, there's 12 different steps that I take as a system each and every time. But it is very helpful when you're just getting going in your wholesaling business. If you have anywhere between 50 and 100 blank white corrugated plastic signs, 18 by 24 inches, there's a lot of different sign companies out there. You have dirt cheap signs. You have a company that has a tool called the sign stapler where you can put the signs higher up on the telephone poles. And they also provide blank signs and stakes as well for a very competitive price. And there's always new companies popping up. But if you guys want to get into bandit sign training and some strategies behind that, I have quite a few students who do a lot of deals on bandit signs. And I have some nifty tips and tricks with bandit signs to get the cost of them down. Where you don't have to pay for shipping, which is going to save you $50 to $70, and also some other things as well, as far as sign placement and things like that. So if you want me to do a video on that, or you want some further training on that, let me know in the comments and I can always do a video on that. But let's just say, as far as getting signs, it's always helpful that you have on hand some blank corrugated plastic signs for your business when you're just getting up and running. It's going to make things easier, and it's going to allow you to take action faster when you do get that deal under contract. So for signs, let's use $1 per sign. So if you want to have 50 to 100 signs, that would be $50 to $100. Now, I love the slogan, I love the saying, do what you can from where you are with what you've got. And I want you to write that down, my friend. When I got started, I was not above going to Walmart, getting poster board for like 38 cents and cutting it in half and duct taping it to a sign. I mean, in the beginning, you do what you gotta do. So we're gonna use a cost for signs of $100 here, just being very conservative, but you could make it for $50. Again, if you would like for me to do a training on how to get the cost down, how to not pay these high prices from the major bandit sign companies that you see out there, how you can go, and here's a little tip, how you can go locally and get them much cheaper and save on shipping and handling. I can always do, maybe a future training on that for you. So just let me know if that's something you want to hear. But anyways, so just to know that this cost can definitely go down, okay? Another thing is phone. So phone, obviously you can just simply use the cell phone that you're already paying for. So I put this on here just so you can really take inventory of the different expenses in your business. So your phone, when you just start, you can use your cell phone. So whatever you're currently paying for your cell phone bill, you can, that's what you'll be using for this business. You will need a printer, right? If we're doing letters, and just in real estate, if you are in business and you're looking to get results, you're looking to run a business, you want to have a printer. So don't let, if you right now are watching this video and you're like, man, Steven, I don't even have a printer right now. Things are a little tough. Things are tight. What I would say to you, my friend, is go on Craigslist. When I first got started, I went to Craigslist. Money was low. I found actually a phenomenal printer. And I still have it. Actually, it's some 6 years later, I have this, and it might even be older than that, but it's an HP OfficeJet Pro 8600 Premium. Okay, HP OfficeJet Pro 8600 Premium, and it's a printer, scanner, fax, it does all of that. It was a $650 printer, and I got it on Craigslist for $140. And they included, the person who was selling it, jumbo ink cartridges for black ink and color ink, 2 sets of jumbo extra ink cartridges for each color. Like it has the pink color, the yellow, the blue, and the black. So I was set up with a $650 printer at the time, tons of extra ink for $140. Now, I will give you, that's an absolute steal of a deal, but if you ask around, if you go to Craigslist, if you go to Facebook Marketplace, if you go to eBay, any of those places, you will, and you look for a good printer, you can find a printer for under $100. So get resourceful, ask around, and just get a printer for your business. That's going to be incredibly helpful. Now, I have phone on here twice, and then you're going to need internet to run your business, right? You want to have internet, high-speed internet. It's going to make your life a million times easier. And so, that's something that the majority of you watching this video will already have. If you don't, that is something certainly to save for, to put money aside for, is to have internet. Okay. So what I did here is I broke this down into a monthly and then a one-time cost. So your monthly cost at a very bare minimum, and this is just bare bones, right? This is paying for your stamps, your computer paper, your envelope, your ink. We're talking $115 a month. And I've certainly had people do it for less. So for example, when I had one of my actually most successful students who's gone on to do tons and tons of deals, when he first started, money was a little tight for him. He was fresh out of college, did not have a big marketing budget. So using the example of inherited houses, instead of spending the money on stamps, envelopes, and computer paper, he invested more of his time into phone calls, right? So he was calling the attorneys, calling executors, calling other type of leads as well. And he's focused more of his energy on networking and just absolutely calling people because he had a cell phone, right? He had high-speed internet, he had a cell phone, he had a printer, but he didn't even want to spend $115 a month on sending out these letters, right? So he improvised. He was resourceful with what he had and said, you know what? I'm committed. I'm doing this thing. Let me start where I am, and then I can always add on pieces later. So that's one of the biggest mistakes, guys, that I see a lot of people make. I know I made this myself, is in the beginning thinking that you have to have all of the fancy bells and whistles. You have to have the most amazing website. You have to have a fancy business structure. You have to have a CRM, a tracking, tracking for everything you're doing. You have to be spending thousands of dollars on mailers. And honestly, that's one of the negatives when I see people going to like the national real estate seminars. And although they get you hyped up, and I can do another video about this at some point, especially if you guys would like to hear about it, my thoughts on the national seminars, because there's some benefits, of course. But a lot of times there's a lot of hype there, and and they get you into these programs where you're setting up fancy LLCs and fancy websites and committing to do all these high-end marketing things before you even really know what you're doing. So what if you learned some tangible skill sets first? You got set up with the basics, you kept your marketing costs low, and then as you developed your skills, as you gained confidence, as you figured out what the heck you're doing as a real estate investor, then you started to add on strategic pieces. Now, doesn't that sound a lot more wise? Absolutely, my friend. And it took me learning the hard way, so I just want to save you a lot of time here. I hope you appreciate that. If you do, here's a perfect time to go ahead and like this video. Leave me a comment below with any questions you have, any future videos that you want me to record. And if you got value out of this, if you know somebody else who would get value out of it, go ahead and share it. I would love for this video to get some traction because this gets a lot of people tripped up. I get questions on this all the time. So my answer to how much, Steven, do you really need to build a real estate investing wholesaling business? Right around, to build it lean, around $100 a month, $100 to $200 a month will set you up prime time, ready to go, to be able to get some tangible results. Now, can you do it for less? Absolutely. Just like my student who started, right out of college when he didn't have a marketing budget, he focused more on phone calls and networking and did that aspect of it. Still some strategy, obviously, behind what he was doing, but focused on those things. So you might think, well, there's free things that I hear about, all these free strategies. And you and I both know that like free strategies obviously take more of a time commitment. However, there's still some very powerful free strategies that you can do. And that example is one of them. Like, we're still doing probate, but he's just focusing more on the phone calls until he gets that first deal done. His first deal was a $25,000 deal. And then now he has marketing, more than enough of a marketing budget to scale and reinvest. Okay, so again, you can get signs for around $100, around $1 per sign. And again, if you want to hear about more training on signs in your business, then definitely let me know, and I can give you some golden nuggets and some tips there as far as how to get them locally for a lot cheaper. Again, I recommend going on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or any other site that you know of where you can get used items. Make a commitment, get a printer. You can probably find one for even $50. Ask around, ask your network, ask your friends, your family, if anybody has a printer they're not using, and you might even be able to get one for free. So again, marketing, you can keep between around $100 and $200 when you first get going. Now, again, this is something that I can link to above and below in the description. I have another training, another video that I just did on, do you need a website, Steven? Do I need a real estate investing website, a wholesaling website? And absolutely, it does provide credibility. And I will link to that video so you can check out that 15-minute video where I dive deep into that topic. but I've had so many students start with me where they do not have a website at all, because there's a lot of different routes you can go, but a very good viable option is around $47 a month for a company called Investor Carrot, who does really, really well with real estate investing websites that make it very SEO friendly, very customizable. You do not need a website. Let me stress that again. I've had many, many students go on to do their very first handful of deals without a website. But for sure, it does provide you credibility and validity to your business. So if that's something you can swing in your budget, and you can add that $47 a month to $115, then it absolutely makes sense to go ahead and do a website. The next thing that I forgot to put in here is business cards. Again, that's going to be something that, again, adds a lot of credibility to your business, and it makes, you can go to Vistaprint, and there's various other companies to get business cards where you're literally just paying for shipping. So let's just be conservative and even say $10 for business cards. Start off with $250. Include those business cards in your letters that you're sending out, in your networking, when you're talking with people, when you're letting people in your market, in your area, know that you buy houses, you and your partners. It is important to have business cards, and it will bring value to your business. So as far as bang for your buck, absolutely go ahead, get business cards if you can. But again, it's not necessary, and I've had people do very well even without them. So again, don't let it be a hindrance, but it is something that certainly helps. CRM. So now and this would be a very good subject, I believe, for a future video, and let me know if this is something you want me to do, maybe a review. There are various tracking platforms where you can kind of organize your leads, your real estate investing leads, into a CRM system, a customer relationship management system. And that way you can track your appointments, you can track your calls, you can track all the data for each and every lead. And the prices on these usually range between $100 and $200 a month. And there's a few really good ones out there that I highly recommend. But again, this falls under the category of one of those bells and whistles that you really don't need in the beginning. A lot of people start out thinking that, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be successful, I'm going to make a ton of money right out of the gate, and I'm just going to go ahead and get this now. But when you start to add up $100 to $200 a month, it adds up really, really quickly. So if you have that marketing budget, if you have that little bit of experience, if you're fully dialed in and committed to this business, it is something that's going to help organize your business. It's going to be something that organizes your leads and helps you. And I've used CRMs on and off since I very first started, and I have good things to say about them. However, I've also used just a good old legal pad, and when I talk to a hot seller, a hot motivated seller lead, I'm writing down, all the details about the conversation. I'm, writing down the date that I talked to them, the offer that I made to them, when I'm going to follow up with them. And then I just keep a hot pad of all the people I need to circle back with, and I highlight, okay, I made an offer of this amount, I'm going to follow up on this date. And then when I sit down at my desk to do those follow-up calls, I'm just flipping through the hot pad of like, okay, here's the ones that I made offers on, here's the ones I need to still make offers on, and here's the people I need to follow up with. And that works very well as well. Also, Excel spreadsheets. So when I first started getting rolling and then money was tight, I tried a few CRM systems. I kind of just backed off, went to Excel, and went to a legal pad. And at the time, I was working under the wing of a mentor who was doing multiple six figures, actually around $500,000 a year for around 10 years. And he still used the legal pad and Excel and did not use a CRM tracking system. So I want you to know, my friend, that this is not something you need, the CRM system. Okay, so CRMs, just know that they're going to be around $100 to $200 a month. There's some very good ones. And again, let me know in the comments if this is something you want me to either do a review where I can show you. There's around 2 or 3 that I really, really like, and I could show you like the platform and kind of do a review of those programs and let you know, like, here's some cool things about it, here's some things that I don't necessarily like, and that type of thing. You know, that would be, I think, some cool videos for you guys out there. But if, you know, as far as like CRMs, again, I think it's one of those things that is a great thing that you can go ahead and add on once you get that first deal done. Like, until you have a ton of marketing coming in, a ton of real estate leads coming in, a ton of motivated sellers, you can keep track of what you are doing in an Excel spreadsheet and with a legal pad. When you get things scaled up, when you have so many leads coming in, a CRM is going to absolutely make sense. So there's a time and place for it. So that's what I'll say about CRMs, okay? So the next thing is an LLC for your real estate investing business. Now, a lot of people think that they need to go ahead and just, you know, right out of the gates, start out, you know, open up a business account, open up an LLC, you know, all of these things. And it's not a bad idea. Certainly there's a psychological benefit of like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing this thing, I'm in business, I'm gonna have this LLC set up. However, it can be a sticking point for some people. And I'm also a believer in like, let's just get going, get moving. You have a lot of action to take. Let's get the leads coming in. Let's get making offers. Let's figure out what you're doing, making sure you love this real estate thing and you're gonna be in it for the long term, and get your first deal done and then go set up an LLC. So if you decide to set up an LLC, this is gonna vary in, you know, from state to state. I know here in Ohio, it was around $200 to get an LLC set up. Or actually, I think like $185. I've used LegalZoom. I think it was like $185. I've used Rocket Lawyer for one of my LLCs. And then I've also paid an attorney to set up a really fancy LLC that was like $1,200. And that's another thing with some of the like the national real estate seminars and programs and stuff like that. You know, they get you like hooked up with like an attorney and they set up some fancy corporation. It costs like $1,200 and then they get a nice commission. And it's like, when you're just getting going, in my opinion, that's not necessary. So again, an LLC, a lot of times it makes sense to get rocking and rolling with one, either right up front, especially if you are 100% committed to this business, you know you're doing it, and you have the marketing funds. But again, if you're tight on the budget, get moving, get a deal done, and then get the LLC set up. So I hope that provides a little clarity for you there. And then as far as growing and scaling your business, and this is the great part, rather than wasting thousands of dollars right out of the gate, wouldn't it be nice to learn those skills and then take the profit that you make and take a small percentage of that profit, around 10 to 15%, 20%, and reinvest that in your business? So a good amount to reinvest for future marketing or automation, to get somebody to do some of the technical stuff or some of the mundane tasks that you don't necessarily want to do in your business. You can hire a virtual assistant. You can pay a family friend, a college kid, somebody local to do different tasks for your business, maybe to stuff your letters, maybe to generate some of your leads at the courthouse, maybe to do certain ads for you. There's different things you can put people in place and automate in your business, and you can use some of the proceeds from your deals and reinvest a small percentage of that. So guys, I want to keep this video concise. So this was how much money to start wholesaling real estate. All the marketing costs broke down. Again, there's a bunch of different type of marketing that you can do, but I wanted to use this example. And I love this example because it's all about keeping marketing costs lean in your business, getting moving, getting results. Because if you can get results with the leanness, then when you start to scale and you start to add on more complex marketing and more advanced strategies, you already kind of know what you're doing and you have a much better chance of success, and you're not wasting so much money that basically tanks so many businesses in the first couple of months. You're avoiding that major pitfall, and that's why I really, really like this strategy. So my friends, Stephen Howell here. I had a ton of fun recording this video. I hope you got a lot out of it. Feel free to go check out my blog, productivewisdom.com, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. If you got a lot out of this, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, as I'm coming out with daily videos Let me know in the comments what you liked most about this video, if you found it valuable, and also what you would like me to record videos on in the future. What topics are you struggling with? What type of things do you want to learn? I would love to, to hear that, and I do read the comments. And hit the notification bell when you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can be notified when I come out with a new video, and make sure you get all the latest content. So again, guys, hope you got a lot out of this, and I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care. Hey guys, Stephen Howell here. One thing I wanted to splice into this video for you that I forgot to mention, so in editing I went ahead and dropped this little clip in. I want to tell you about the phone cost. So when I was talking about, okay, for the phone, you're paying whatever your cell phone bill is. But I want to talk about a good business phone number. So when you are marketing your real estate investing business, you do want a dedicated business number. It will make life easier. It will add an extra layer of, just simplicity, protection, whatever you want to call it when you're doing marketing and advertising. You may not want people always blowing up your personal number, and that way you can kind of keep track of things from a business perspective as well. So two services you could use. You could go the free route or the paid route. Free route is obviously Google Voice. That's what I used for quite a while when I was getting rolling in my business. I then switched everything over to Grasshopper, which it's more robust, there's more features, and I really, really like the customer support. And then you can have multiple numbers if you want to have like a 1-800 number for your website and a local number for your letters and other advertising that you're doing, as an example. Or if you want multiple numbers for different testing, or just a good, reliable business number, I'd highly recommend Grasshopper. It's what I use, it's what I have all my students use, and I love it for the simplicity's sake of having excellent customer service. It's what a ton of entrepreneurs use. For example, if you're having an issue with Google Voice, it's kind of hard to hop on with Google. You're in the chat, the forums and stuff like that, searching for answers. Although Google Voice works just fine, Grasshopper is going to be a lot smoother. It's going to be a lot better customer service, and it's going to keep things really simple as well. So that, it makes sense to have a good phone number. So $12.95 for Grasshopper. If you want a dedicated business line, that's what I use. So I wanted to go ahead and put that piece in this video.